And we
party like it's not 2020 anymore.
Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna turn this light out behind us. It's kind of weird. There,
that's
better.
so much better.
Isn't that nice?
That's nice.
I'm gonna tip this up. My head's getting cut off here.
Scene. This is our Christmas tree.
It is our Christmas tree.
A piano here that takes up the room that we would put a Christmas tree.
All right,
so.
bring it in here.
Yeah. So guys, Happy New Year! Happy New Year! You guys have been with us through thick and thin and devastation and excitement and not a lot of excitement, but yeah. No, just kidding. Good things, bad things, frustrating things, funny things. I mean, I don't know about you, but I was having a good time this year laughing at Black Lives Matter and BLM and Antifa. Like, they making
so I was with you.
fools of
I'm
themselves.
with you until the actual riots in the stores and people dying, but that, all of that aside.
Okay, you know what? Sometimes you have to admit, I'm just going to be honest, watching the people walk out with all the Nikes was funny. It wasn't right. You shouldn't do it.
Right.
But it was funny.
Right.
Okay? It does. And sometimes people laugh at things. Grandma, that stupid song, Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer. I hate that song. Other people think it's a funny song. I don't think it's a funny song.
I don't like that
You
song.
shouldn't run Grandma over with the reindeers.
No.
That's bad.
Bad.
Grandma's good.
If you drive your reindeer, steer clear of Grandma.
And it's like a happy song. My cousins used to sing it, okay? Along with with the California grapes. You heard it through the grapevine. So I heard this through the grapevine. Are you ready? So I couldn't even get it out because I was laughing so hard.
No, this is legit. Last night, I thought it was going to be something like, I don't know what I actually was expecting, but she was sitting right here in this chair behind me. You can't see this chair behind me. She was sitting right here, and she couldn't get it out.
Patrick Byrne, the ex-CEO of Overstock, who is like, there's Team Crazy, which is Sidney Powell, General Flynn, and Patrick Byrne. I like Team Crazy.
I love Team Crazy.
Team Crazy has a lot of hope. Now, we need the other team, Jenna Ellis and Rudy Giuliani, let's do things by the book. But what's great is that Team Crazy rubs off on by the book people, which is hilarious to me.
So good.
So Team Crazy has rubbed off on Patrick Byrne a little bit. He says, I can vouch for this as a prediction.
Now, tell them what's going to happen. This is legit. This is Babylon Bee, but this is legit. It's not really
15 years ago, that's how I knew whom to listen to. A lot of people had opinions, but there were one or two who could predict the future. That's how I learned to whom I should listen. All right, are you ready for this?
They're not ready.
Trump's epic plan.
This is the epic plan for the 6th.
Holy poop. This was just posted last night. Read. Believe me or not, it doesn't matter.
Right.
The January 6th elector ballot count is going to go down as the greatest troll of all time.
It's going down.
You may or may not know, but the vice president gets to count the electors.
He's counting them.
That's the one thing the Constitution makes crystal clear.
Clear
Apparently, the plan is for Mike Pence
Here it is.
to roll in a Dominion voting machine or a knockoff that looks like one.
Great idea.
He's then going to pull out a USB drive.
Oh, I should have had a USB with me.
Update the software just before the count and use the machine to count the elector ballots.
This is such a good
Remember, this will be on national television, and the count will not only come out fractional, but it will result in more votes than actual electors and result in Trump winning more electors than Biden. The chamber is expected to erupt in chaos. Obviously, the count will be challenged. Pence will then conduct a recount, but he will use the same machine to print the recount ballots and then hand count those. The recounted number will be similar to the original count, only changing by a couple of votes, but it will result in Trump winning even more than before. The Dems are expected to cry fraud, and Mike Pence will object and call order. He will tell them it's too late to challenge because it's already done, and the count is finished. He will then deliberately wipe the machine's software.
Yes.
This is a rough sketch of what is being planned.
It's just
I
rough
don't
right
know
at this
the
point.
exact details, but Trump wants to fill D.C. because this is going to be, as he said, wild. I don't know if Pence ultimately throws it to the House after the chaos or fully certifies Trump's win in this manner. My source wasn't sure. I think they're still working out the details. I hope you're ready for the salt to flow. Trump is a showman first and foremost, and he's putting everything into this.
This is so great.
Now, what's funny, what's actually not funny, is that somebody on the Democrat side got together, planned that whole thing, and didn't laugh and then did it.
Right. But not with the electoral votes, just with all of America's votes.
Exactly. That's, so, if they don't have a sense of humor, that's why they can't laugh.
I know.
They come up with plans and they're serious about them.
They are such stick in the muds.
So, anyways, there's your plan.
It's a good plan.
And I'm
Hey,
actually
you know what?
all about that plan.
Let's go with it.
I'm down. I'm totally down with that plan.
I'm down with that plan.
Like, I am down with that plan. Like, they can do it. Why can't we do it? I think it's a fantastic plan.
Right.
I'm all about it.
Mhm.
All right, guys. I want you guys to have a good, happy New Year. I want you to laugh. I want you to cry happy tears. I want you to let God be glorified in your life. I want you to love the people that are near to you, and I want you to love the people that are far from you. I want this year to be a year that we stand up against tyrants. Jenna Ellis tweeted out, the people have to start standing up to the tyrants.
We're
so,
doing it, man.
What's her name? Gabrielle, what's her face from the ACT Project? She's the Lebanese lady.
Oh, yeah.
She was saying, she was tweeting out about Mike DeWine randomly. Like,
He's our governor, but like not my governor.
not my governor.
And here in Ohio.
I'm actually
Tyrant
Here's
governor.
the thing. There are things that I am excited about. Primarying, Rob Portman. I never got involved in politics before.
Maybe Leah will run.
No, probably not, because people won't. I understand you need to represent your constituents, and I think I would represent more unlike people maybe in Georgia or Texas than small town than our Miami Township.
I think that's true. But
Then
you
I
don't have to
don't think I
represent
rep-
Miami Township. You could represent something broader.
I think I would represent a little bit more rural Ohio, Hillsborough-ish.
Yeah.
So anyways, now let's
Maybe-
go straight for senator then, right?
Exactly.
Except for I don't want to live in Washington D.C. Sorry, I'm not that kind. There are sacrifices that have to be made. Somebody else can
I
sacrifice that.
will be your chief of staff.
No, because we don't want to live in Washington D.C. We like farming. We can't do it out there.
That's true.
Too much travel. Let somebody else do that. So, guys, I want you to get excited. This year, 2021.
Here we are,
some of the words-
2021.
Some of the words God gave me today as I was out doing my little prayer walk. You guys, I say this all the time. Maybe if you catch on to
we're
it.
in sync here.
Yeah. If you need a word from God, if you're stuck in a rut, go and take a prayer walk and talk to the Lord. And, personally, on a personal level, I was working through some stuff because I took my dad to court when I was 8 years old because I didn't want to see him anymore. And I went before the judge and he asked me why, and I'm not going to get into it all here, but he promised that Dad wouldn't drink. He would make it so Dad wouldn't drink. Well,
When you were there.
When I was there. But there was nobody there to fulfill that order. And I felt powerless as a child because I went to the law. I had the law half rule on my side, but they didn't fulfill their duty and obligation to make sure that happened.
Right.
Because he would have been in contempt of court. But at 8 years old, Mom's money ran out, and we couldn't take him back. So we're seeing a lot of injustice in the court, and we're relying on the court system. We're seeing the DOJ and the FBI. We've been all over this stuff. Where is the justice? Well,
It's coming.
the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords.
It's coming.
The justice comes from us calling on Jesus.
Right.
Trump said it's going to be wild. And I started thinking about this. It's the day of the Epiphany. So there's a 12 days of Christmas. Catholics get some things right. I like the 12 days of Christmas. I never celebrated them before, but I'm digging it. I feel like we have a gift every day. We're like, what day are we at? Are we at the
like
7 or 6? And we're like, first day of Christmas,
We're
Trumpy
the
gave to
7.
me. Or what did we say? God, what were we saying? Gave to?
Josh Hawley.
Yeah, Josh Hawley, he's going to go up, he's going to object to the electors. So anyways, we had a long list we were going to give to you.
No, I still want to do it. I told Leah, I want to start this song in the 20 days of Trump.
And Thursday
Okay,
of Trump.
starting tomorrow, I want us to release a video every day with the big thing, the big gift that we've been given by God for that. And then we will sing the song. And on the 20th, we will have we'll have 20 things that we will be singing. I think this is an excellent idea.
Okay, so, side note. Trump came out with this thing on the vaccines. Y'all know we ain't taking it. You aren't taking it. At the end, he said, write me an email or call the White House. And it didn't say why. And Mom's like, well, I'm going to write and call and say, I'm not taking your stupid vaccine.
We ain't taking it.
Okay?
We don't want any. Nada.
Here's the thing. I love you, Trump. And what's really smart is that, like, only the liberals are taking the vaccine.
That's great.
So let them take it.
I kind of wonder. I mean, Trump's not Mao Zedong, but I mean, with the vaccine,
Whatever. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
kind of killing the bad guys. It's
I
kind
know.
of creeping me out.
It is. It is. All right.
I would not
So-
support him if he was behind that.
No, I would not. All right.
Mass
So
genocide through vaccine.
number one, I got a word from the Lord, I believe. I know some people are saying Trump, it's up to Pence, and with Pence to this. I don't believe. I don't know what Pence is going to do, and I don't want to get your hopes up. I don't want to dash them either way. But I will say this: Pence is not the swamp. Now, I think the people get into trouble and they make a lot of mistakes. And he brought in Burks, and he had this task force, and he was running with it. And then it took a life of its own. And how does he fire Fauci? And Dr. Burks has happened to resign. So Dr. Fauci went rogue. And Pence thought he was doing the right thing. I think he honestly did. They started
Sure.
with prayer. I think it was this great thing. And then, when you realize that you actually played into the enemy's hand, you're stuck in a trap. So we got to get Pence out with the power of God. So I don't blame Pence for any of that.
Yeah.
I don't believe Pence is a swamp. Number two, Trump said it's going to be wild on the 6th. I got a kind of an idea. The 12 Days of Christmas ends on January 5th. January 6th is the Epiphany. The Epiphany is supposed to represent the Magi coming to Jesus, which represents the Gentiles coming to Jesus, which is so powerful because they knew it from the book of Daniel, from all the prophecies that Daniel had written. It would be 400 years to the coming of the Messiah. And the coming of the Messiah would be the government's from the, being in the world's hands and God operating through the Babylonians and the Medes and Persians and the, Grecians and then through the Romans. And now it would just be God's kingdom. That is why the 3 Magi came and they brought gold, frankincense, and myrrh, and they laid it down at the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, which would be the Messiah. And he would come and he ushered that in. He ushered that in.
Yeah.
He is the King of Kings. He is the Lord of Lords. Nations rise and fall with his hand. And the kingdom of God is spread all over the world. I believe that the Lord said, I said, God, I said, millions of people come to you. He goes, you asked too small. I said, 1 billion people come to you. You asked too small. 50 billion people coming to know Jesus Christ. And that is not too small of a number,
No.
because 12 men set the world on fire. And
Yeah.
here we are.
Yeah.
There's more than 12 of us. Exponentially, the whole world should be saved.
It's so good.
Okay,
So good.
so I want you to get excited. I want you to get on fire. We had the Indian man who prophesied, who said, America, your problem is you're too worldly. You're too materialistic. God is going to strip you down. And he stripped us down. And we've come. We don't want money. We don't want things. We just want freedom. We want 1776. We just want freedom. Give me
Yes.
liberty or give me death. And God stripped us away from everything else. And with that, he can use us. What's his name? Couch. He said, Matt Couch, he said, I'm not trying to wake up sheep. I'm trying to wake up lions.
Whoa.
I was like,
You're
boom.
a lion.
You're a lion. You're listening to me right now. You're a lion. Hear us roar. We are,
Whoa.
Jesus is the lion of the tribe of Judah. Okay, so what we're seeing is that, when it came to Moses leading the children out of Israel, we're like, hey, God, could we just leave after the frogs? Could we just leave after the locusts? Could we just leave after the hail? Could we just leave after the blood, the water turn into blood? Could we just go after, no? Well, and then there's you go down and you get set free. And then you're at the Red Sea. You're like, God, what are you doing? And we are at a Red Sea moment, okay?
Yes.
Because God himself, he wants to remind us that we are his, just like with the Pilgrims. When it looked like they were in covenant with the Wampanoag Native Americans, and both their crops were going to fail. It was a drought. And the Pilgrims, they fasted and they prayed. And for 2 weeks, they got a light, misty rain.
was
And the
perfect.
Wampanoag chief came to the Pilgrims and said, your God is the God of gods, okay? And because here's the thing, they didn't have the ability to water their crops. There was no sprinkler systems. It was God or nothing,
Right.
okay? And when it comes to whatever we're looking at right now, we're not looking at Trump being president, even though he will be. We're looking at a coming down of an entire system that is built up on technocracy and the oligarchs and all these big names, these big families, like mafia type families in America, and they've been so comfortable, and like Michelle said, that the steel this time they got sloppy and because they got greedy and they tried to go too big.
Yep.
Okay.
And they had to.
We're looking at this.
It was all or nothing
like,
for them, so they were going to lose no matter what.
Blevins in Kentucky, people have been saying that went crazy. There were some races in Texas that went crazy, and that was in 2018. So then they did it on a bigger scale, and they've probably been doing it since Obama.
Right.
The good news is that the lions have awoken. And we won't go back to sleep. There's no sleep after this. There's no, after the, remember for 3 years, we were told we were conspiracy theorists if we doubted that Russia somehow hacked our election. No one's ever told me how Russia hacked our election in 2016. They just said they did. Rod Rosenstein never made a case for opening up this Russia investigation because they knew that it was based on this PP thing. Like there was no reason for Trump's whole family to have all their records and everything be investigated. There's no prerequisite for that. Okay, so so they put it through that. They put us through the impeachment. They put us through the Kavanaugh trials. They put us through everything that was just like mind blowing, and we woke up. We're awake now. You've thrown coffee, we drank all the coffee, you've thrown water and ice water in our face. There's no going back to sleep. I mean, some of these speeches, this is not the Tea Party. It's not your mommy's Tea Party.
No.
Okay? People on Twitter, they're like, I'm not a Republican, I'm a Trump voter, okay? And that's 10 million more than 2016. We are a huge army of people. That's just why YouTube took down our video.
Which, by the way, they did. You need to know this. You missed the hearing from yesterday. If you missed the hearing from yesterday in Georgia, it was epic. It was amazing. And YouTube decided that video is too dangerous for you to see, but you can still see it on, I think Patriot Gallery uploaded it to our BitChute channel, and I think she's working on putting it on Rumble, but for right now,
How many subscribers do we have on BitChute?
It's still on Facebook, and it is still on Periscope. Patriot Gallery, she's going to come in and tell us probably.
At least, it's either 2 or 4.
Patriot Gallery.
I tried twice. BitChute wouldn't take
Don't
it.
come on the
BitChute
screen.
wouldn't take it.
You'll be in the mirror.
But I got 5, 6, and 1 on BitChute.
Wait, what do you mean 5, 6, and 1?
Hours 1.
Okay, hours 5, 6, and 1. But Mom, wait, how many subscribers do we have on BitChute now?
2,280, I guess.
2,280 subscribers on BitChute. So if you're watching this video on BitChute, God bless all of y'all.
Yeah, it's so powerful. It's so cool. So, yeah, that's just amazing. That's a small, most people have never even heard of BitChute.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's just so cool. So anyways,
y'all.
God is moving. It's going to be wild. I believe it's going to be wild because it's going to start a revival of Gentiles. And like Steve Bannon said, he is the #1 podcast in the world, World War Pandemic. And he's like,
War Room Pandemic.
He's got people from Hungary, people from Poland, people from the UK, people from Australia, people from all over the world are typing in, we're watching you guys, we're watching you guys, we're watching you guys. Same thing with us on our Sunday show, we're watching you guys, we're watching you guys. And I was taking this walk and I was like, I'm envisioning myself like on like some sort of epic journey, and it's like there's no going back.
No.
Like we're only going forward here. There is no going back. There's no stopping here. I know, and the word the Lord gave me was, we're not the crazy ones, they are. I know Lynn Wood says some crazy stuff. There's a lot of crazy people.
But is what Lynn Wood is saying actually crazy, or is it in the camp of other people think it's crazy?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because he came out and said Jeffrey Epstein was still alive, and I'm kind of going, that sounds crazy when you say it, and I wouldn't say it, but I'm not convinced he did.
Right.
Okay, so
his ex-cellmate supposedly just died of COVID. Really?
Mhm.
So
he's super duper uber powerful, and he knows all of these people, and it seems possible.
Right. And keep in prayers. There's a congressman-elect who supposedly passed away from COVID, but he got it was like 10 days from like he got it to he died, and it's just really sad situation. So pray for his family.
Very
he was a really great
suspicious.
patriot. He was one of the Trumpians coming in. I'm going to say foul play. Supposedly he died in surgery, but nobody's...
Why do you have surgery for COVID?
There's no.
Did he die
confirmed-
with COVID or of COVID? Because if he's in surgery, no one gets surgery for COVID.
That's what they're saying. He had surgery for COVID, and he got
No
a heart
one gets
attack in surgery for COVID. They said he had remdesivir. He was getting plasma. He was getting
Not buying
steroids. Some people say that the remdesivir has horrible side effects, including death and heart attacks.
Wow.
Yeah. So I would say take the Roxy, take the Z-Pack, take the zinc early on if you get it. If you start to have some trouble. I helped a woman get it. She has horrible lung issues. She was doing horrible. She got the medicine, immediately turned the corner and had Christmas with her family. I was like, wow. Okay. So guys, I honestly, I'm like, well, maybe this treats a flu that we don't even know of.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I'm not sure that everybody's diagnosed with COVID has COVID, but some people get a bad flu and a bad pneumonia, right? And so we're learning that, you know, the Z-Pack with the hydroxychloroquine for pneumonia.
Right.
Right?
Dr. Julie, Leah was referring to a congressman-elect that got COVID and supposedly died 10 days later of complications. He was in his 40s.
41.
Healthy looking.
Yeah.
Not buying it. Not buying it.
Not buying it.
So is that the end of the word that you got from God?
I want you guys to be excited. It's going to be wild. I think that I felt like the Lord said, look forward to January 6th.
Oh, I'm there.
Look forward to it.
We will be bringing
Be
it to you
excited
live.
about it. Be excited about it. Be excited about it. Look for it. Is something. It is a present from God to you.
It's
It is a present of God to the people who have been faithful all these years.
Yep.
Who have been on their knees praying. God is smiling. Trump is smiling. Trump flew back from Mar-a-Lago. He went straight to the Oval Office. People are saying that he's got a plan. I don't even know if he has a plan. I don't care, because the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, he already told us he's got this plan. He had to expose Mitch McConnell. He had to expose these rats. He had to, and sometimes it's fumigating, and we're looking like, oh my gosh, do we have to burn the whole house down? Or do we fumigate? I don't know what God's going to do. But I know that it's the Epiphany, and he's going to bring the gospel, and it's going to bring the gospel to the world.
So when we think of whenever someone says, I had an epiphany, where does that come from?
Ooh.
Right? I had an epiphany.
Ooh.
It just came to me.
Ooh.
It was an enlightening, something that I didn't know.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I now know.
I now know.
I had an epiphany. That's it's the day of Epiphany.
That the Gentiles, oh my goodness, you're the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Here, take my gold, take my frankincense, take my myrrh.
Right.
You're the King of everything. Okay, so all the kingdoms of this world become the kingdoms of our God. Just repeat with me. The kingdoms of this world become the kingdoms of our God.
And of his Christ.
America rises and falls because of God.
Yep.
Okay?
But now
The
we're in a rising
Constitution-
time. We're not in a falling
The
time.
Constitution was built by God. God can tear it down, but He's not going to. You know what? You know why? Because it was a covenant, and it was in the blood. It was a covenant written in blood with people who made a covenant through the blood of Jesus.
Right.
That is a double covenant. The blood of martyrs, you could say, the blood of soldiers, mixed with the blood of Jesus. That is an unbreakable covenant. That Constitution cannot be broken.
I want to hit on something really quickly, and then we're going to sign off because we're going to have our family celebration. We got pizza, and Leah made a party. When I say Leah's made a party, what I mean is food. Her party equals food.
This is what we have done my entire life. We have vegetable tray, we have a fruit tray, and we have a meat and cheese tray.
And chips and sparkling grape juice.
Yes.
All of that.
I want to, okay.
You know these pearls? They're real. They came from a viewer
Michelle, your hair
named
still looks
Sir
good after early today.
Charles in 2017, and I think he got his feelings hurt because
You girls
he was
are
telling
great.
us. Let me tell the story. He was telling us that he was like a lord in the UK, and I kind of wasn't believing it because it seemed too far fetched, and it might have been true. And then he stopped being our viewer, but that's what this came from. All right, no, listen. I want to say something. This is really important. Your finger's right in front of the
I
thing.
see that.
We were discussing. I'm just going to say the name, Thomas Massey, today. And men that we love and admire who are maybe not all on board with what's happening right now.
Object if the legislatures.
He said he'll object if the legislatures from the states actually come and say we're objecting to these votes. All right? Thomas Massey aside, what I am seeing with people, Mom was watching Jerome Corsi earlier today. Oh man, I love him. Just from today, just whatever she was watching. Y'all go watch it. It was from today. These men that are not buckling and caving are the ones, can you wait?
Janice, is this the same what you're talking about? When not much scares you, not much can hurt you.
And that's exactly what we were saying. We have men that have fear because they have seen throughout life that the big guy, the bad guy, often wins, okay? And so someone like Thomas Massey wants to be a realist. Guys, I've seen this before. Sometimes they win, and that may happen, and I've got to be a realist. But nowhere in the Bible does God commend realists.
No.
Nowhere does God say, thank God you told everybody, okay, the bad things that are probably going to happen. But everywhere, God rewards men of faith. So when we see the men that are rising up, that have the hope, that have the joy, that have the Spirit of God, that are willing to fight for this,
Yeah.
they are the men that have the Spirit of God and do not have fear. They have faith, and they are using the power of God in that faith of, I have nothing to lose. I have an eternal life to gain. You can't touch me. I know my God is going to come through.
Yeah.
Those are the voices that you listen to. Everybody else, you get a choice to be on the right side of history or the wrong side of history. Thomas Massey is going to come along anyway.
Yeah.
God love him. He is called by God to do what he's called to do. We love that man. Okay, but you can be one of those way makers.
Right.
I was there. I was the founding father. I stood for right. Or you can just come along after. It's your choice.
So, Steve Bannon had said something today about, or the other day about courage is the greatest virtue. I don't know if I agree with that or not, but courage is something that the church is missing. It's definitely the virtue that the church is missing the most.
Yeah.
Is courage. And I'm seeing courage comes from the cowardly lion, and we're waking up the lion.
Oh, that's so good.
Okay? We're waking up the courage. And that's what I love what Janice said. It's those, and God is using all the people that don't have fear. Or
right.
feel the fear, like my mom says, and do it anyway.
Anyway, that's the definition of bravery. It's not having fear. It's feeling the fear and going ahead and doing it anyway.
So I love what Norway...
No Way's Thoughts.
No Way's Thoughts, and says, if I roar here in Maine, I will wake up. I will scare the moose.
That's really funny.
But yeah, courage. They make you afraid. Well, there's nothing you can do about it. When you hang your head, they're laughing at you because they're like,
if you just gave it a little inch,
we got away with it. We didn't expect to, but then they just walk away again. Why do they keep walking away?
But
And
they're
it's
not
just,
getting away with it this time.
absolutely insane. It's like you're handing them your wallet and like you have a gun in your hand.
All right, we're pushing 30 minutes.
All right. Oh, wow. Love you guys. Happy New Year.
I hope you have a fantastic new year. We will be live.
Old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind.
The Democrats
Should old acquaintance be forgot when for old lang syne.
I don't understand that song. Because for old time's sake, I get it.
Old time's sake. You should remember. You remember old
But it said,
acquaintances.
should they be forgotten?
No,
I'm
they
thinking of
shouldn't.
like the Democrats
For old-
should be forgotten is what
They
I'm
should.
thinking.
That you're messing with the
They
song, but
need
that's
to
okay.
be forgotten.
Old acquaintance should be forgot and never brought to mind. I love it. Okay.
Okay, all right. We'll be back tomorrow, I think, for a weekly roundup of news, I think, New Year's Day at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You will not want to miss that show. Like I said, you need to, if you
That's
miss
the
the
funny
hearing.
joke, Alice. That's what other people are saying.
If you missed the hearing of Georgia, it got taken off of our YouTube, but you can still find it on Facebook and on Periscope. What did Mary Alice say? Watch out, people. 2020 is turning 21 and is going to start drinking. That's awesome. Okay, we love you guys. God loves you. God bless. Remember, it is not just a conspiracy theory. If it's the truth, be encouraged.
Sign conquer.
2021 is going to be an amazing year. I cannot wait to see what God is doing. He's already started. Okay, good night, guys. God bless.